Well, here we have the brand new 2025 Rebel 1100T. Just the touring model here. They've got the SE and the regular for this year. And if you're anything like me, you're like, well, what's new? What's the difference? Should I get a used 24, 21? Or should I go for the new one, you know, this year, 25? You know, this year we've got the screen instead of the gauge cluster, which is the biggest upgrade. Some people like it, some people don't. Only change is the D-pad on the handlebars and the screen there. My first thought with the screen was, oh cool, CarPlay possibly. That'd be really cool if you would integrate the new CarPlay features that Apple has going for, like all the new BMWs and Mercedes. They've got a really nice integrated CarPlay system that has custom gauges and all that stuff. That would be awesome. But no, oh no, I had, well, I never believed that for a second. But just the idea of that is way too much faith in a Honda engineer, of course. They're kind of like Toyota. They're not on top of the tech game. It's like they hired someone straight out of college or maybe high school to code something for them. And, well, this is the thrown together bits of code that you get. No fancy new CarPlay, hell, no CarPlay. It's nothing even happens when you plug your phone in except charging it, which is cool. You know, you get the little waterproof connector here, and there's one under the seat as well, so that's cool. 2 USB-Cs, maybe a phone mount here for your real phone. I've seen people do these CarPlay screens as well. I guess if I had a bigger windshield, I could put a CarPlay compatible screen there. I probably wouldn't do that. If I'm gonna have my phone out, I'll just have my phone out. I guess you could do that if you want your phone to stay in the seat or your pocket or somewhere out of the sun. What I found that kind of works for me is I have an Apple Watch, and I can put the navigation on my phone, and then, you know, as I'm riding, I can check on that and be like, oh, yep, got my turn ahead, it'll buzz me and be like, oh, let's turn now. So that's something I gotta check a little bit. I kind of, you know, wish it would go on the screen, but, you know, if you have your phone here or watch there, then that could work. And so most of the videos that I've seen around this, they point at the screen like, oh yeah, it's a screen instead of a cluster, and you can connect your phone and all that stuff. There are some videos kind of going over it, but I kind of want to do it from a tech perspective. I'm an IT guy. I do kind of tech stuff, and I like to find all the little nuances and, you know, what they could have done. Did they do it the right way? And short answer, no. If you want to take one thing away from this video, should you get a 25 just because of the screen? The answer is no. Do not buy a 25 because of the screen. It's not worth it. There's nothing about it until Honda does some updates, if they even can do updates. So I'm going to walk you through a little bit of my issues with this screen. Let's just turn it on, and I'm just gonna sit down and we're gonna kind of go through this. So when you first turn it on, you've got the little error message there. I mean, that's typical. The engine's not running, so it's got an error message. To dismiss it, you just press any button on that guy, and now you can access the full screen. And really, there's nothing here to do except over here. And the 2 arrows just means hold the D-pad in that direction. So if I want to get to my favorites, I would hold it, and I can do my favorites. In this case, it's just fuel bar or fuel range. This really is a waste. I mean, I can, the same amount of speed that it takes me to hold that button, I can just go over, down, over, boom, same thing. Or if I change it to the trip meter, then it's over, over, boom, I'm there. Like there's, or, you know, over, down, down, over. You know, it's favorites. It's just hold it for an ungodly amount of time, and then there's the one option that you wanted to change. So that's just, I don't know, it's cool that it's there, but there's nothing to do. And if we go into the menu, favorites switch. You want to set it, and that's it. There's just those 2 options. So that's just not well thought through, in my opinion. There could just be so much more. Speaking of so much more, let's just go ahead and dive right into the settings. If you're confused a little bit about how like the functions or this was, I kind of was. I was like, oh, there's the mode, the horns, all these buttons. It's just go over to the right one time, and you've only really got 3 options, which 2 of them are your favorites, which is fuel and your trip reset, and then this is just like trip information. You can go down and see trip A and B stuff, and then whatever mode you're in, it tells you your power, engine braking, and traction settings. So yeah, you just go over one time, go all the way down to the 4th option, settings, and now we're at settings. All right, so this is a little bit better. We've got a little bit stuff in here we can do. So your riding mode adjustments, this is where you can set your presets, where you can go through and say, hey, I want my mode to be these items, and you can go and adjust that. And then you can compare it to different riding modes. So if you want to be like, hey, how does the rain mode look? So the rain mode, not a lot of power, not a lot of engine braking, a lot of traction. And then, you know, you just go through and be like, you can compare it, and then you can make your own based off of those. Shift point. Trip A auto reset's pretty cool. Actually, I'm gonna turn that on. So if you go to a gas station and you put enough gas to fill your tank bar up by 2 bars, then it will go ahead and reset that Trip A mileage for you if you're trying to do Trip A based on gas, which is definitely something I want to do. That's kind of cool. Going down to display, we've got display type, and this is where you can go between that bar style, the circle style, or just simple digital cluster. Just a personal preference there, no big deal. Auto brightness, I found as I was going through some bridges, the auto brightness is kind of slow to respond. Maybe a manual setting on this is best. If you do a lot of night riding, I guess adjusting it back and forth would be kind of cumbersome. But this will be a great example of something they could put into favorites. Like, that's super easy. Hold this down, boom, let me quickly adjust my brightness because the auto brightness is garbage. Or if you could just make the auto brightness better, that'd be great too. Going to the background, white or black. Of course, you can see I've got mine on black mode, dark mode. The white just looked kind of weird. I guess that's because I started the bike out on black, and so I mean, it's black around here. I don't really want that to be white. So, I like that to be black. So your favorite info here, there's 2 different settings options here. This isn't like you can have this one or this one. It's the 2 different ways. So you can see that you've got 4 pages of settings there, and within those pages, 2 different icons that you can change. And this just mimics, let's go back here. This is this screen right here. So you can change what information pops up here. So you can see how we've got it set to the tuning of the bike, average speed, average constant. So just depending on what type of information you want to see here, you can go into the settings and customize that and make that your own. So that's pretty cool. And so the favorite info, the first one here, this is the information that appears here. So by default, you've got the mileage, your miles per gallon instant, and then Trip A, Trip B. And so if you want to change, add, remove things from there, you just go into that first option. And then we've got the favorite switch as well. Kind of looked at this earlier. It's kind of useless. There's only 2 options here, and they're really both kind of useless because you can get to them the same speed just right here. So like, yeah, there should be some more options there. Just, you know, find things. So there's plenty of settings around the bike that could be there in that list. And then last thing here is air temp, which is just the outside ambient temperature, which it is pretty hot today, as you can see. In general, just has your basic stuff, date, time, language, whatever. Bluetooth pairing reset. This should be named something else. I mean, all it does is just clear the Bluetooth and then put it into pairing mode. So it should, I don't know, it took me a minute to figure out how to pair my phone to this, because you have to go to reset and then pair your phone, but we're gonna get into why that's a bad idea anyways a little bit later. So this is pretty cool. You've got periodic maintenance. You can set every miles and or a date. I don't have anything set right now. You can do your oil change on certain intervals, the same thing. You've got your, however many miles you want it to be before your next oil change. Looks like you can go up to 8,000, so it's kind of, yeah, and set your dates there. This is cool. Battery voltage and water temp. That's all cool. And then the warning info, this is where all the icons would show, and if your check engine light was on, where a code would be where you can check on that information. But these 2 items right here, the battery voltage and the water temp, there should be a switch exactly like this to put those 2 items up here at the top. I would like to see my water temperature and battery voltage. I mean, that's just more information about my bike that's already available, and you can't stay in this setting screen. Once you get over 1 mile per hour, this screen goes away, and you can't stay on it for any reason. And it doesn't let you change any of the settings or go into any of these menus while moving over 1 mile per hour. Then if you had some heated grips, you go into equipment, you can add them there, and then regular system info. No big deal there. Hopefully, we can do firmware updates to fix a lot of the issues we've gone over in this video. I saw a video where somebody was talking about the cruise being complicated. I mean, so just, this isn't like one of those buttons that pushes in and pushes out and you can tell that it's pushed in or pushed out, but it is. So no matter what, if you press this, it's always going to be on, no matter where you turn the bike off, back on, no matter what day it is. And if you push it again, it'll always be off. So this is like a cruise main. So you just turn it on, leave it on, that's there, just never touch it ever again, unless there's a malfunction or something. And then you just set the cruise or resume and go up or down in your speed. So that's pretty self-explanatory, pretty simple. And of course, very nice to have. Ride mode switch, I mean, that's self-explanatory. Little guy up in the corner there changes between your modes. You've got your user modes, sport, standard, and rain. Been rocking in standard. There we go. The high beam switch, I kind of like this actually. It's pretty cool. Up for high beam, and then you can flash people. The little beam, you can see it's pretty narrow. It's like a laser almost, so some fog lights might be necessary if you do a lot of night riding. We'll do a quick blow of the horn just so you can check it out. Very annoying. The one thing I don't like about the mileage here, so right now we've got it set to how many miles are left, so of course we can go and change that to get just a regular bar, or this thing here. When you start to get low on mileage, this actually changes to the range at around 50 miles, and this whole icon turns orange. So no matter what mode you're in, that's gonna always display the miles remaining when you get to a certain point. So if you do like the bar, I mean, I kind of wish there was like a percentage, maybe like an exact percentage, that'd be kind of cool. When you get low enough in miles, then it just automatically does this, so it doesn't matter if you like the bar or not, you're gonna get miles. All right, I think I've gone over most of everything you can do on the screen. So this is the point in the video where I tell you, oh, do you like everything that I've been showing you here? You go in the settings, you can change all these things, you can change your total mileage, all these favorites. You like being able to do all of that? Well, not when your phone's connected. That goes out the window. So much so that I've disconnected my phone. So I'm actually gonna go in and reconnect it and repair it to my phone just to show you how bad the integration is with your phone. And so really, let's just do like a quick tutorial anyways, because I couldn't find any videos. Maybe there's one by now, but like, here's how you pair it to your phone if for some reason you wanted to do that. So you gotta get this Honda RoadSync app, you gotta do that. And so this is the only cool part about it, where it has like your previous rides and stuff, but it has to connect to the bike. And at this current moment in time, oh my God, there's a snake. What the hell is happening out here? Okay, getting back to this awful app. All right, so let's see, I've only got this one bike that I've paired to it. Let's just real quick go into one of these if it lets me. Okay, so if you want to get into any of these, you have to specifically click on the text. You can't click anywhere else but the text. That's dumb. You can see where you went, where you're going. So yeah, it's just so when you click into it, it's just the addresses where you went listed at the date and time, and where they are on a map, and you can like pinch and zoom the map. So like, okay, cool, I guess, but you know, let's go ahead and try and get this connected, even though I've already done it one time. Can I delete this one? How do you delete a bike? Bluetooth name, great. Delete? No? Okay, we're gonna figure this out. Rebel, next. When I tried to do this last time, it just did not work. So let's try it this time. We'll turn the bike on, we'll go into settings, the Bluetooth pairing, yes, you gotta hold it, and then stay on this screen. Okay, find device, great. Connecting, pair, allow, there it is, finished. And this is where it starts. All right, so this is basically all you can do. You like this screen? You like the screen here? Because you're never gonna get back into it once you leave. This is where you're stuck at. You can
music,
essentially
volume,
remotely control your phone.
music, navigation.
That's all it is. There's you're looking at their
voice, say place or address, and navigation.
You're looking at their brilliant idea for an app. You can lock your phone, have it in your pocket, have your headphones connected to your phone, and then you'll hear this lovely voice. Quick tutorial, if you want to change that voice, you go to settings, accessibility, scroll down a bit, we've got spoken content. Then you go to voices and select your language. I've got it set to Ava Premium. I think the default is one of these top ones, maybe Allison or something. Ava Premium.
Hello, my name is Ava.
This is actually the Tesla default voice. There's a whole bunch of voices in here, so you can play with them, download them, and get them on your phone. And then once you go back, yeah, that'll be the voice that the app decides to use.
Music, navigation.
Even if you turn it off, detailed guidance is turned off, and she still talks to me. You remember that little mute button that was down there? You could hold it. It had the little thing. You can hold down to mute it. Oh, that's still a thing. Okay, that's still a thing. You can't see it on the screen, but I did just mute her. That's nice. Here's volume, so I can go into it. And let's go up, I guess, or down. Oh, isn't that fun? So if it's muted, you actually can't adjust the volume. Someone really tested this app out, didn't they? You can still kind of control the bike from your phone too, so it's kind of two-way communication there. But yeah, so let's go ahead and unmute it maybe. Okay, so now can I? Oh yeah. Well, that's interesting. So one click is 5%, but it doesn't actually show you every percent there. So that's, you know, you could have did better with that.
Returning to main menu.
Thank you.
Volume.
Oh,
Music. Navigation.
So this would actually be sort of useful, just in the slightest, if I could do this. Go to an app, be like, oh, let's go to, I don't know, a gas station. We'll go, I want to go here. And so any normal app, you would just share, like a Tesla. You can just share it straight to the Tesla and it loads on the navigation. Everything's great and handy, honky-dory. The Honda app is nowhere to be listed here, which means you cannot share an address that's in your maps straight to the bike. You have to go straight to the app, go to navigation, and you've got to use this. You've got favorites, nearby places, recent stuff.
Say place or address after the beep.
Gas station. Oh, nope, it didn't beep yet. Now I have to say it.
Say place or address after the beep.
Gas station.
Searching for gas station.
Jeez.
Super Shop. America's 3.1 mile.
That's actually the worst gas station to go to. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Why wouldn't you go to the one that's like a mile up the road?
Navigation.
And why is
Voice
it
search.
Why is it super
Navigation.
loud all of a sudden?
Navigate music volume. Volume control.
We had you down, broski. There's no need to go all the way up. This is just, it's just horrendous. But my biggest issue is you're stuck.
Navigation.
This is your new screen. If you actually did succeed in getting an address here, down here you would lose your mileage. You would have a green bar that says what your next turn is, and there's no map icon here. This just stays exactly like that, which is not helpful at all, and I lose my mileage. How wonderful. But yeah, you're stuck here. There is no going back. I should be able to back out of this and go into the motorcycle settings or go to my favorites or change. I can't change this if I'm stuck on trip mode. I can't change that to anything. If I want to see that engine temperature, well, that's not happening. That's why it should be up there anyways to begin with. Really, it's just when your phone connects to it, it locks the bike completely down, and it's pretty useless. The one plus I will give to them is the connection speed. I can just have my phone in my pocket or wherever, and if I turn the bike on, before the screen even turns on, it's connected. So that's the only thing they've done right is the connection speed. But oh, how I hate it because I cannot get it to disconnect. So I would have to, actually that's a good question. If I go to my known bikes, can I even get back to there if it's connected? Nope, I'm stuck here. So let's turn the bike off. Cool. Looks like it did remember my bike. Yep, it didn't add another one, so that's good news, and it has all my previous rides, so that's good news. It didn't reset anything there. Go and connect.
Navigation.
You have to accept this well, you don't have to do that every time. It just, if you're in the app, then it's like, hey, don't do that. Yeah, but I'm locked here. There's no way to be like, oh, I didn't want to be in this. Just take me out of my phone real quick. Nope. You can go and turn Bluetooth off, but if you have an Apple Watch or other items that use Bluetooth, then that also disconnects. So that's not a good solution for that. If I turn this back on, how quickly will it reconnect?
Navigation.
Pretty instant. So it looks like someone tried to program a connection to the phone where you could hold down your D-pad and connect to your phone and maybe hold it down again to disconnect, or maybe go back to the bike, but maybe you just forgot to program it in. You didn't finish programming it or something, I don't know, because once the phone connects,
Navigation.
I mean, you're trapped here. That's it. you gotta just disable your Bluetooth. I don't even think you can go into Bluetooth. Yeah, you can't even disconnect. You have to turn your Bluetooth off. Like any other regular Bluetooth device would have like a just disconnect button. For whatever reason, there's just no options in here. You have to either forget it or turn your Bluetooth off entirely. Another thing, make the app, make it to where I can share something from maps. If someone texts me an address, say we're all going on this ride, this is where we're going, I should be able to click on that address, click the share icon, share to the app, and it opens it straight in the app, it connects, and it works just fine, and that would be great. I need to be able to escape this to change other things on my bike. In fact, I want to do this right now, just so I can say the other thing that I would like. We need more favorites. We need to there needs to be more than just 2 options in favorites. In my favorite switch, there should be more things here. And then I want to be able to see my engine temperature and my battery voltage. I mean, there's plenty of space right up here, you know? So maybe it's because you're gonna have like other icons that would come up there, like you've got this icon here. But you know, figure something out, because you know you've got your temperature here. So I would say you could do temperature, and then we could do battery voltage, and then temperature again, and then other error messages could be in this bubble right here. So just move that over. These are the reasons I would not purchase a 2025 Honda Rebel 1100. Other quick comments about just all Honda Rebel 1100s in general. So they have 3 models this year: the regular, the SE, and the Touring. They've always had the Touring. But what is it with the Touring? Like, literally all you get are these hard bags, which is pretty nice. It's the one bag is shorter than the other one for the exhaust that everyone should immediately remove. GP Shorty is the greatest exhaust. And then you get this little fairing with this pitiful excuse for a windshield. Honestly, yeah, like that's terrible. If I was Honda and wanted to make a touring bike out of the Rebel series, I mean, you got a good start here, but you know, y'all could figure out something better. This company here, I don't know, well, what is this? This is my father's bike. This clock, I suppose is how you say that. But they've got this like aerodynamic shield where it doesn't have to be all the way up, but the wind hits it and goes up and it skips your face. So that's something you could engineer, Honda. I mean, you did the whole bike. You have a great engine. You have everything else, well, a lot of things done correctly. Go to a wind tunnel, you know, figure out a better windshield there. These mirrors, I mean, what is this Mickey Mouse program? This is crazy. How did you get licensing from Disney to put these on your motorcycle? You know, something else there. A fog light package. This is a touring bike. Fog lights. How about double disc brakes? You know, a real touring bike has dual front disc brakes. That's something you could totally do. The seat. This is actually an OEM Honda Comfort Ride seat. They just came out with this in 2025. This should be stock on all Honda Rebels ever. There's no reason to have the stock seat at all. Just get the Comfort Ride seat. It's $100 you sell to me, which means you can sell it to yourself for like 50 bucks and just include it in the bike. At the very least, the touring model should just get it. It should just be part of the touring package. You get the comfort seat, but just to already have a decently comfy seat straight from the factory, why not? It's a little upsetting when you go to the dealership and you look at all the new bikes and none of them have any back seat, any backrest, any pegs. It's just, you only have the one crappy seat from the factory. I would like to see, I mean, this could be controversial. Maybe the touring package would have a sissy bar and a back seat with some pegs. I mean, maybe it's just an option that they could do at the dealership right there, instead of me having to do this by myself with some parts from Amazon and me having to start disassembling my bike when I get home. The bags, I like the bags. Like, we've got the key integrated. You know, I know the exhaust has to be done for emissions, so I know you have to ship it that way from the factory. It's perfectly fine. And I do like that you properly supported the exhaust from the factory, because you know people are going to take it off, so that's good there. Maybe some other saddleback options would be cool, but there's a lot of companies, so I won't give you a hard time on the bags. And one last piece for the touring package, how about some floorboards? Like, you know, these pegs, that's cool for the stock model or just something to get you out the door. But if I chose to get the touring package bike straight from Honda, what if I want to pick this guy up and then immediately go on a tour? Why does it feel like when I buy this bike, I have to immediately go on Amazon or go on all these motorcycle sites and order custom accessories to make this thing a proper touring bike, or something that feels like I could actually travel 70 miles an hour, 75 miles per hour on the interstate? If you're gonna offer a more expensive touring package version of the bike, at least make it to where you can leave the dealership and hop straight on the interstate and start touring immediately. Why do I have to purchase all these things to make the bike more comfortable? Might as well just not have even bothered. Having to drop $1,000 of accessories to make the bike more touring when I bought the touring model just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I've only put 250 miles on this guy, and I'm already kind of wishing I just would have gotten a used 21 through 24 something with 5K miles, 10K, whatever. Someone's already broken it in, someone's already dumped $3,000 in accessories into it, and then I can get it off them for $7,000, and I feel like I would have been a little happier. You know, I can't get a better interest rate by myself, so that was kind of the reason I went to the dealership. But I got there and I didn't even qualify for the special interest rate, which I guess you need to have a perfect 850 score to get, because I have good credit. But yeah, if you just had the cash laying around and didn't have to go through all that mess, or you had a decent down payment for yourself anyways, then yeah, I probably would say a used bike. Already broken in, already has accessories, probably would even come with a helmet or two, or comm system. I saw one with the dash cam someone had put on there. I mean, you know, it's great what people already have on their bikes. They've already done all the hard work for you. You see the good bike, boom, purchase. I mean, it'll be nice though. I've got this guy, he's mine now. Well, over the course of time, I'll get the accessories that I want to make it feel better. Maybe some wind guards or something, I don't know, just to make it better for touring. It's just a little upsetting that touring doesn't actually mean touring.
Hey, look at that. You made it to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. I don't really upload much, but just as something I was kind of doing. Got a new bike, so checking it out. Let me know if you like the content by, you know, liking, and subscribe if you want to. I mean, like I said, I don't really upload much, but, I mean, good. So, yeah. Thanks.